Resilience is the ability to rise above the challenges that life inevitably throws our way, and few stories embody this more powerfully than Oprah Winfrey's. Born into poverty in rural Mississippi, Oprah faced adversities from the very start. She was raised by her grandmother under harsh conditions, often wearing potato sacks as dresses because her family couldn't afford proper clothing. These early experiences of deprivation could have crushed her spirit, but instead, they became the foundation of her resilience. Oprah's life was marked by traumatic experiences, including abuse during her childhood and struggles with self-worth. By the age of 14, she became pregnant, and although her son died shortly after birth, this tragic event became a turning point in her life. She chose not to let her circumstances define her future. Instead, she channeled her pain into determination, knowing that she had the power to change her story. Her first job as a radio host was a stepping stone into the world of media, but even in her early career, she faced rejection and criticism. She was fired from her position as a news anchor because she was deemed unfit for television. Instead of succumbing to self-doubt, Oprah used this setback as motivation to carve a unique path. When the opportunity to host a daytime talk show arose, she embraced it wholeheartedly, transforming it into a platform not just for entertainment, but for empowerment and education. Resilience, as Oprah demonstrated, is not just about surviving, it's about thriving. She didn't merely endure her challenges, she used them as fuel to reach greater heights. Each obstacle became a lesson, teaching her to believe in herself and her vision. She learned to forgive those who hurt her, not for their sake, but for her own healing. This self-forgiveness and compassion became cornerstones of her success, allowing her to connect deeply with others and inspire millions. Today, Oprah Winfrey is a billionaire, a media mogul, and a global icon. But her success wasn't handed to her. It was earned through grit, perseverance, and an unwavering belief in her ability to rise above circumstances. Resilience was the common thread that ran through every phase of her journey. It was the driving force behind her ability to transform personal pain into professional purpose, to turn every no into an eventual yes. Her story reminds us that resilience isn't about avoiding difficulties, it's about facing them with courage and choosing growth over despair. Challenges are inevitable, but they are also opportunities to discover the strength we didn't know we had. Oprah's life exemplifies that resilience is a skill we can cultivate, and it is this very skill that enables us to not just overcome, but to thrive in ways we never imagined possible. When we face life's struggles, we can draw inspiration from Oprah's example. She shows us that no matter where we start, it is our resilience, the ability to rise, adapt, and keep moving forward that determines how far we can go. Adaptability is one of the most vital traits anyone can develop, and my life is a testament to its transformative power. The world is constantly changing, often in ways we can't predict or control. My success came not because I resisted change, but because I learned to embrace it no matter how uncertain or uncomfortable it felt at the time. When I was growing up in Mississippi, my dreams were big, but my opportunities were small. I didn't know how I'd escape poverty or find a way to share my voice with the world. But I knew that to rise above my circumstances, I had to be willing to step into the unknown. This mindset carried me through every phase of my life, from moving to Nashville as a teenager to entering the world of media with no roadmap for how to succeed. One of the first major tests of adaptability in my career came when I was fired from my job as a news anchor in Baltimore. It was devastating to hear that I wasn't fit for television in that moment. I could have let fear and rejection paralyze me, but instead, I made a choice. I decided to adapt to find a new way forward. That opportunity came when I was offered a role hosting a daytime talk show. It wasn't the path I had envisioned, but I leaned into it, pouring all my energy and creativity into making it my own. What began as a small local show in Chicago eventually transformed into the Oprah Winfrey Show, a platform that reached millions and changed lives. Adaptability isn't just about surviving changes, it's about thriving because of them. It means staying open to new possibilities and recognizing that every shift, even the unexpected ones, can lead to something better. When I launched my own television network, OWN, it was another massive leap into the unknown. The early years were filled with challenges, including low ratings and mounting criticism, but I refused to give up. I adjusted, learned from the feedback, and stayed committed to my vision. Over time, OWN found its footing, and today it stands as a beacon of meaningful, empowering content. What I've learned is that adaptability requires courage. It's not easy to leave behind what's familiar and step into uncharted territory, but that's where growth happens. Whether it's starting a new venture, learning a new skill, or simply changing the way you see the world, adaptability opens doors you didn't even know existed. Life will always throw unexpected challenges and changes our way. We can resist them, clinging to what feels safe, or we can adapt, trusting that each shift is shaping us for something greater. My journey has taught me that adaptability isn't just about keeping up, it's about staying ahead, staying curious, and staying true to your purpose, even as the world around you evolves. It's this ability to adapt, to pivot with grace and determination, that has brought me where I am today, and it's what will carry you forward too. Mental toughness has been one of the most important tools in my journey, and resilience has been the foundation for building it. Life is not a straight path, nor is it predictable. There are highs and lows, triumphs and tragedies, and through it all, what truly matters is how you choose to respond. For me, resilience was the bridge to mental toughness, a skill that allowed me to persevere no matter the circumstances. Growing up in rural Mississippi, I faced more challenges than I could count. Poverty, abuse, and the feeling of being powerless to change my surroundings were my constant companions. But even as a child, I found strength in small victories, like learning to read or reciting Bible verses in church. Those moments taught me that even when life feels overwhelming, there's always a way to find light in the darkness. When I entered the world of media, mental toughness became even more critical. I remember being told I didn't have the right look for television. I was too emotional, too different. Those words could have crushed me, but instead I used them as fuel to prove my worth. Mental toughness isn't about ignoring pain or pretending things don't hurt. It's about acknowledging the hurt and pushing forward anyway. It's about choosing to believe in your value even when others don't see it. There were countless moments when self-doubt crept in. The pressure of running the Oprah Winfrey Show, managing a growing empire, and trying to make a difference in the world often felt like too much. But I learned to focus on what I could control: my mindset. I couldn't control the critics, the failures, or the unexpected challenges, but I could control how I showed up every day. I chose to show up with intention, gratitude, and the belief that every setback was a setup for a comeback. Resilience also taught me to handle rejection and loss with grace. Whether it was losing loved ones, facing public scrutiny, or watching a project I poured my heart into fail, each experience strengthened my resolve. I realized that mental toughness isn't about being unbreakable. It's about being unshakable in your purpose. It's about knowing that no matter how hard the winds blow, your roots are deep enough to keep you standing. One of the most valuable lessons I've learned is that mental toughness isn't something you're born with, it's something you build. You build it by facing challenges head on, by refusing to give up, and by finding meaning in even the most difficult circumstances. Today, when I look back on my journey, I'm grateful for every challenge that tested my resilience and strengthened my mental toughness. It's what allowed me to create a life far beyond what I could have imagined as a little girl in Mississippi. And it's what I hope to inspire in others. Because when you cultivate resilience and strengthen your mind, there's nothing you can't overcome and no dream that's out of reach. Problem solving has been at the heart of every success I've achieved, and adaptability has been my most valuable tool for navigating the complexities of life and work. The ability to adjust and approach challenges from new angles has made all the difference in how I've grown personally and professionally. Life rarely goes as planned, but being adaptable allows you to shift your perspective and find solutions even in the most daunting situations. I've faced countless challenges that demanded creative problem solving. Early in my career, I was tasked with taking over a struggling local talk show in Chicago. The ratings were low and expectations were even lower. I could have simply followed the formula of existing shows, but I knew that wasn't enough. Instead, I ask myself, what can I bring to this that's different? How can I connect with people in a way that feels authentic and meaningful? By adapting the format to focus on real stories and conversations that matter to everyday people, we turned the show around. It eventually became the Oprah Winfrey Show, a platform that reached millions. Adaptability is about staying open to possibilities you hadn't considered before. When one path isn't working, it's not the end, it's a sign to explore another way. I've learned that the best solutions often come when you're willing to step outside your comfort zone and try something new. This mindset was crucial when I launched OWN, the Oprah Winfrey Network. The early years were rocky, with criticism and low ratings threatening to overshadow the vision I had for the network. But I didn't give up. I listened, learned, and made changes. We reimagined programming and focused on creating content that aligned with our purpose of empowering and inspiring audiences. That shift brought the network back on track and solidified its place in the media landscape. Problem solving through adaptability isn't just about fixing what's broken, it's about innovating and evolving. It's about seeing challenges not as roadblocks, but as opportunities to grow and do things better. This mindset has guided me in every area of my life, from managing my businesses to navigating personal struggles. When faced with problems, I've learned to ask, what is this teaching me? What is the next best step I can take? One of the most powerful lessons I've learned is that there's always a solution, even if it's not immediately clear. Sometimes it requires patience and perseverance, other times it demands bold and unconventional thinking. But the key is to stay adaptable, to remain open to change and ready to act when the right opportunity arises. In the end, adaptability and problem solving are about trusting yourself, trusting that you have the ability to handle whatever comes your way. Every challenge is a chance to learn, grow, and create something better. When you approach life with this mindset, you'll find that even the toughest problems can lead to breakthroughs, and every step forward brings you closer to your fullest potential. Resilience and adaptability are often seen as separate qualities, but in my life, they have worked hand in hand to create a powerful synergy. Together, they have allowed me to face challenges with strength and navigate change with grace. Resilience is the foundation that keeps you grounded during life's storms, while adaptability gives you the flexibility to adjust your sails when the winds shift. It's this balance that has allowed me to overcome adversity and continue to grow, no matter what comes my way. I've faced my fair share of trials, both personal and professional. Each time I've been knocked down, resilience has helped me stand back up. But standing up alone isn't enough, you also have to move forward. That's where adaptability comes in. When I started the Oprah Winfrey Show, I didn't have a blueprint for success. I had to adapt to the audience's needs, learn from mistakes, and continually reinvent the show to keep it fresh and relevant. That combination of resilience and adaptability turned a small local talk show into a global platform that changed lives. The same synergy was crucial when I launched OWN. In the early days, it was clear that what we envisioned wasn't resonating with viewers. I could have given up, blaming the circumstances or the market, but resilience kept me committed to the vision. Adaptability, on the other hand, allowed me to listen, pivot, and make necessary changes. We reevaluated our programming and aligned it with our purpose of empowerment and inspiration. That willingness to adapt, combined with the strength to persevere, transformed the network into a success. This dynamic duo isn't just about big professional achievements, it's just as important in personal growth. When I faced criticism, public scrutiny, or even moments of self-doubt, resilience gave me the inner strength to keep going, while adaptability helped me see challenges from new perspectives. Instead of being rigid in my approach, I've learned to remain open, curious, and willing to grow. That mindset has allowed me to turn obstacles into opportunities and failures into lessons. One of the most important lessons I've learned is that life is rarely predictable. You can't control everything that happens, but you can control how you respond. Resilience helps you stay anchored, and adaptability helps you move forward with purpose. Together, they form a powerful combination that enables you to navigate uncertainty and thrive in the face of change. As I look back on my journey, I see how resilience and adaptability have worked together to shape every chapter of my life. They've allowed me to rise above circumstances, embrace new possibilities, and create a life that's both meaningful and fulfilling. My story is proof that when you cultivate these qualities, you can face any challenge and turn it into an opportunity for growth. It's not about avoiding hardships or change, it's about meeting them with strength and flexibility, knowing that together, they will lead you to a brighter future. Developing resilience and adaptability has been a lifelong journey for me, and I've learned that these are skills anyone can cultivate. They're not traits you're simply born with, they're built through experience, practice, and an intentional effort to grow. They've become the foundation of my success and the tools I rely on to face life's inevitable challenges with strength and grace. When I was a young girl growing up in rural Mississippi, I didn't know what resilience and adaptability were. All I knew was that life was hard, and I had to keep going. I didn't realize it then, but every challenge, poverty, loss, rejection was shaping me into the person I would become. Resilience began as a choice to endure and grew into the strength to rise above my circumstances. Adaptability, on the other hand, came from learning to navigate new environments and opportunities, from being the little girl in potato sack dresses to becoming a global media mogul. Resilience can be strengthened in many ways. For me, it started with finding my inner voice. I learned to trust myself, to listen to the quiet assurance that no matter how tough things got, I could make it through. Journaling became one of my tools for reflection and growth, helping me process emotions and uncover deeper truths. Surrounding myself with people who believed in me, even when I struggled to believe in myself, was another key part of building resilience. Adaptability, I found, comes from a willingness to learn and stay open to change. Life is constantly shifting, and the ability to pivot with grace is essential. When I stepped into the world of television, I had no idea how to navigate it, but I learned by doing. I listened to mentors, studied others who had succeeded before me, and stayed curious. Later in my career, when I transitioned from hosting to running a network, adaptability became even more important. I had to embrace new ways of thinking, take risks, and sometimes fail before finding the right path forward. The truth is, developing these skills requires effort. It takes courage to face adversity and a willingness to step into the unknown. But the more you practice resilience, the stronger it becomes. The more you embrace adaptability, the more natural it feels to adjust and thrive in new circumstances. These qualities are like muscles, you have to work them to keep them strong. What I've learned is that resilience and adaptability aren't just about getting through tough times, they're about growing because of them. They help you see challenges as opportunities, not obstacles. They remind you that every setback is a chance to learn, and every change is an invitation to evolve. As I reflect on my journey, I'm grateful for the experiences that shaped me and the tools I've developed along the way. Resilience and adaptability have allowed me to turn pain into purpose and dreams into reality. They're skills we all have the power to cultivate, and they can lead us to lives of strength, growth, and endless possibilities.